Hi everyone, this is Linda, and I have a book to read. The title is To Everything, and the words come from a place in the Bible called Ecclesiastes, which means wisdom, and you can find that in the Old Testament. I want you to listen to these words and see if you believe they're wise. To everything there is a season, and a time to every purpose under the heavens. A time to be born, a time to die, a time to plant, a time to pick, a time to tear apart, a time to sew together, a time to cry, a time to laugh, a time to mourn, a time to dance, a time to give, a time to receive, a time to hold, a time to let go, a time to be silent, a time to speak, a time for love, a time for anger, a time for war, a time for peace. To everything there is a season, and a time for every purpose under heaven. Those were very wise words in the book. So many things have changed since the last time we saw each other. And some things are happy things, some things are sad things. Babies have been born, and people have gotten sick and died from the coronavirus. Some people have gotten sick and gotten better from the coronavirus. It's a time you could plant things in your yard or in pots, and a time that you might pick things that were already growing in your yard, like flowers that bloom that you wanted to bring inside and enjoy. Right now, our building is being torn apart so that they can put in an elevator and make it better for all of us from now on after they're finished. But the sewing back together takes a while, and we'll all be ready to celebrate when we can see all the wonderful things that have been changed. Um, there's, it's a time that you could cry, and I'll bet you have, and a time that you could laugh because you enjoy being with your family, even if you can't be with your friends all the time like you were used to. Sometimes you're sad. Sometimes you want to do a happy dance. Um, then there are times that you could give. Now, what could you give? You could give the gift of a hug or a kiss to your family. You can wave at people. You can smile. You can write notes to people. There are so many things you could do that are ways to give. And to receive, there are so many ways you can receive. You receive love from your parents every day, and I hope this is a little note for you from me to tell you how much you mean to me, because you all are very important to me. Sometimes it's a time to hold on to feelings that are so big you just can't even put them into words. And other times it's a time to let those feelings go and give it to God to help you deal with. Sometimes there's a time to be silent if you want to say mean things to people. Maybe that's a good time just not to say anything. Other times you might want to speak and speak words of love and kindness to people. Certainly it's a time for love, but also a time for anger, that things have changed and we don't necessarily like the way they've changed. Sometimes there's a war inside yourself, and you can only find the peace that you want by believing that God is going to take care of it all. So I hope you'll hold on to those words. It might be fun for you and your family to draw some pictures of things that you think it's a time for a good thing and a not so good thing, and talk about those, because holding our feelings inside is not as productive, not as helpful as saying it out loud so that we can begin to figure out what to do with those feelings. So I want you to know that you are always in my prayers, and that you are all very, very special to me, and I just can't wait to see you again.